Improvement Board meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. Christina, could we do roll call?
Mr. Blessed,
Here.
Mr. Haddix,
Here.
Ms. Hartman, here, Mr. Kane, Ms. Shipley, here.
All right, audience participation.
There is none.
There's no audience participation. Swearing in of new members.
Let Mr. Bonacci do that.
Charles, John, and...
Shelley.
Oh, that's right, you guys...
Is this, I didn't know if this was my new year or not.
I didn't realize. Wow. All right.
So we have to come down there.
You have to go down here. Good, how are you? Not good. Suggest that you stand over in this area. That will hold your voice. As we go along.
Is this the microphone?
So you can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Shelley Shipley,
Do hereby swear that I will support and defend
do hereby swear that I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the
as a
duties
member of the Capital Improvement Board
as a member of the Capital Improvement Board
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me sign a couple of documents here.
Just keep one in.
I'll sign the replicate that. Read along.
Now you're stuck.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. So I state your name.
I, John Blust,
Do hereby swear that I will support
do hereby swear that I will support
and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the
as
duties
a member of the Capital Improvement Board
as a member of the Capital Improvement Board
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
as I shall answer to God.
I shall answer to God. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Well, you will worry about Mr. Kane's at the meeting that he shows up at, so
What's that?
we'll leave his for the first meeting he attends.
Yeah.
Next order of business is approval of the minutes from the September 17th, 2024 Capital Improvements Board meeting. Huh?
Unless
Oh,
you're
I'm sorry.
unless you're nominating yourself.
Nominating himself.
I apologize. Yes, we are. All right, let's move on. Let's back up. Okay. So, next order of business, election of chairperson. Would anybody like to be the chairperson? Any nominations?
I'll nominate John Bliss.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Thank you very much. We'll see what I can do this year. All right. Now, next order of business, approval of minutes from the September 17th, 2024 meeting. I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Overview of the 2025 capital requests.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back for another riveting year. If I can get this to work. To the next slide. Okay.
And a new video system for this room. In that budget.
Oh, we did that.
Wasn't that last year's?
I think it was 2 years ago. They remember.
It's replaced already.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to start with a quick timeline of events. I mean, all of the members who are currently here are returning members, so 5 weeks of meetings. We'll meet with various department heads for capital requests over the next 5 weeks, with a culmination of voting between members over the items, and then the final presentation to the Finance Committee for your recommendations of the items that you feel the city should fund for 2026. So just a little background. Capital Improvements Board is a board defined by the city's ordinances. It's Ordinance 12707, consists of 5 qualified electors throughout the city. All of you have graciously, volunteered your time for this. But the purpose is to consider capital improvements presented and make recommendations to the administration. So again, we'll meet 5 times to determine what those necessary capital items are for the upcoming year. So excluding infrastructure projects, which include any of the engineers projects, road projects, sewer lining, things like that, that Amy handles, Engineer Moore handles. We had $4.8 million were approved for 2025 from the board last year. These varied from necessary building repairs to equipment and technology upgrades. So we're just going to go over some of those, what the status of some of those projects are, and then we did implement something new, which was any items that departments, let's say a department decided, this really is not a priority, we need to move forward with this other project, and it wasn't approved by capital improvements. We've requested that they at least make council aware that they want to switch it out. So we have had that happen this year. So it's just kind of an extra layer of transparency. That way we're not just swapping out projects that this board, that have come to this board. We want to make sure that council's apprised of, changes that we're making internally and the reasons for that. So we'll start with fire and police department. We're going to go through these by fund level. So the police and fire levy fund is a special fund that was approved by the voters in 2021. It is an extra property tax. So you will see that on your property tax bill. It is 2.4 mils, which generates about $1.8 million in revenue a year. Now that is for not only capital purchases for those departments, but also pays for their pension expense. And it doesn't even include all of their pension expense. So about $1 million of that 1.8 million goes towards police and fire pensions, and then whatever's remaining can be used for capital purchases.
I just want to make it clear that this is not going to be a new tax that you're seeing on your property tax.
Correct.
This has already been there. So it was
Yes.
passed by the voters.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I didn't want to think they're going to see something new on their property tax.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was passed in 2020,
Then
so
they're
it
gonna
went
go
into
out
effect in
and say, "It's
2021.
Scafidi administration, look at their taxes." No.
So for the fire department, last year, for this year, They have a med unit, which was year 4 of 5 for a lease, an engine, which is in year 6 of 10 for a lease, a ladder truck. We'll probably get into this a little bit more extensively next week when police and fire present. We did advance the money from the general fund this year for that, and the mayor and I have come to the decision that we're going to reverse that advance and just pay for it. We've already paid for it in cash, but we don't feel like we should carry that debt for 10 years. The fund really can't support that. As you'll see with pension reform that's still hanging out there, I just don't think it's a smart venture at this point in time to just add more to this fund and keep depleting it. So that'll be a discussion for next week, but that's on there. There is no year 1 of 10 on there for that reason. They also had the phase 1 of an SCBA replacement. That's all of their equipment with the masks. We did postpone that project this year, and we subbed out a radio replacement that they felt was more pressing, which was also in turn with the police department, who has new radios. And then an alerting system for all of the 2 fire stations. So that's the internal radios and the dispatch through that. The police department, we had approved year 5 of 5 for their 911 communication system upgrade, year 2 of 3 for their cruiser fleet replacement, year 1 of 6 for their mobile radio replacement. I think got cut off a little bit, so I'll just keep reading through. Microwave links for radio traffic, that is actually the signals that get sent out for the dispatch center. So that goes to all the police vehicles, all of the fire vehicles, and their connection with Summit County, so when they're over their radio links. And then a bidirectional amplifier, which I'm assuming probably goes with those. If Chrissy were here, she would explain all about that, but we won't get into in-depth in that. From the wastewater fund, which is the wastewater treatment plant, we approved the purchase of a sludge hauling truck, the replacement of a number 2 effluent pump. Again, please don't ask me what these are. Nate would Nate would explain everything, but a biochemical oxygen demand sensor, which we had the prior year leased that to do like a test trial, and then we decided it was a worthwhile project. A pump stand for the Willowbrook pump station, 2 refrigerated composite samples, and 3 RAS flow meters. So all wonderful things that help the things go where they need to go, but don't know a single thing about what they actually do. At Glen Eagles Golf Course, we approved a fairway mower, and at the fitness center, we have the lease of the weight room equipment and all of the machines. That was year 3 of 5. Diamond Bright for the pool, which is like a ceramic coating for the indoor pool, and the pool pack payment. So this is another item that there's a caveat on. We did issue a note for the pool pack. We actually have legislation on tonight's council meeting that we are going to roll that note. We are not going to make a payment this year except for our interest payment, and we may roll that note into a larger bond issue with some of the capital improvements that you will hear about tonight. The city has done a really good job maintaining its assets, but assets only last so long. And we're in that phase now where we have to start making some very significant improvements.
Christine, I had a question on that.
Sure.
Pool part. Is the Diamond Bright and the pool pack, is that what they were working on this summer?
The pool pack is what they were working on this summer. The Diamond Bright, I'd have to ask Jen. I was under the impression that we were going to do it at the same time, but I think the bids that came in for it were significantly higher than what they anticipated. It does need to get done. It's just a matter of, can they do something like that in phases, or, but that part is not complete. But the pool pack is the reason that the fitness center, the indoor pool, has been closed.
Okay, thank you.
Land and development, which is out of our general capital improvement fund, that is funded completely, well, I shouldn't say completely, that is funded majority with general fund transfers. We do receive some grant money. We always apply for a no-pet grant every year, and then the service department does a really good job of maintaining assets that we can then later sell. So we do receive maybe like $100,000 a year in, money that we have received from property that we no longer need that we sell, either on gov deals or, we do get trade-in value for some of our items. So from land and development, we had the annual tree program. We replaced the concrete in the building department and the police department parking lot, so that was closed for part of the summer while they did that. Citywide sidewalk program where they go around and repair certain parts of sidewalks. Seal coating of municipal lots, that included the paving of the cemetery, the bike path paving, and the pickleball courts. There's a little asterisk next to there. We did not move forward with that project. I believe it was a spacing issue. There just wasn't enough space for what we envisioned at the location. The IT department did a complete desktop replacement for 160 units throughout the city, so everyone got new hard drives. Engineering department and building departments each got a vehicle for their inspectors who are out on the road, and we are in the process of getting a new, is it a 14-seater or 18?
They're basically 15s or 14 miles.
Okay, so we're in the process of getting a new wheelchair bus for the seniors.
That bus holds 14 wheelchairs?
No, typically 1 or 2 wheelchairs that set up and balance your traditional seats.
But like when they take the seniors on certain smaller trips, they'll all take that bus. For Parks and Recreation, we upgraded the security systems at the water park. The water park also, it was water park heavy this summer, which was a good thing because we had a significant amount of attendance with the indoor pool being closed. The water park also got a new pool heater and furniture. We did not complete the study and design services for the amphitheater. The community center flooring replacement, we do have a purchase order issued for that, so they will be doing that. So the flooring is, we had an insurance claim after some flooding at the senior center last year, so they want to make the flooring continuous and everything matching between the senior center and the community center. And the Glenn Chamberlain Shelter Bridge Sensory Playground Project, which we did apply for a $1 million grant from Amelia Sykes' office, but with everything with the federal government, they've never issued whether they were going to actually disperse those grants, so that one is still kind of on hold. We are thinking of going ahead with the sensory playground. We did put that in as a caveat last year, that if we didn't get the grant, we were still going to move forward with part of it. So, the service department. So the service department, we had approved 2 5-ton trucks with upfitting, which are currently being upfitted right now for snow and ice season. A bucket truck, which is actually on tonight's council agenda to award the bid. A drum roller, which there's a little asterisk as we will be putting that off and re-requesting it for next year. An asphalt hot box, a box trailer for the ball field tractor, and a skid steer trailer. So that brings us to where we are for 2026.
Thank you, Christina.
So I think maybe Dennis, the mayor, and I will work in tandem on this first request. So the city hall roof and HVAC system there needs to be a complete tear off of the city hall roof, and the HVAC system is, I think, well past its useful life.
It's all outdated. Yeah, we have units up on the roof that are over 25, 30 years old, and the lifespan of those are 20. So that's where we're at replacement.
So it only makes sense because the units are currently on the roof, is that if you're going to do a complete tear off of the roof, you might as well do the HVAC at the same time, because you're going to have to remove them in order to do the roof. So it just makes sense to work them in tandem. The goal, I would say, is to push these projects into, I had mentioned earlier, we were going to roll over our note for the pool pack. I think the goal is to next year start this project and to roll that estimated 5 million in with the 2 million and make it an actual bond issue. So we would do the construction on it, we would issue a bond. It may start out as a note that we end up issuing as a bond, and then it would be paid out of our bond retirement fund as general obligation debt. And it's a 25-year payback period because it is a public improvement. Police and fire improvements only 10 years. They look at the useful life on those items as going quicker, whereas this is a public building. The useful life is at least 25 years.
I would just like to be clear that on those AC units up there, it's not only because they're old, it's because they're in constant need of repair. You know, we keep calling people out here to repair them, and I always look at it like the old police cars. I was never a fan of keeping old police cars around, because by the time they're done with them, they're really worn out. So depending on what we're going to do with them, because you start throwing good money after bad money. And that's what we've been doing on the roof of this building, between repairing the roof and with the AC units and, what's going on up there. They're just, we keep throwing good money after bad money. And not to mention, because of the age, none of them are energy efficient whatsoever. So, I mean, we're leaking money out of the roof here, between the leaks and between the roof units. I mean, it's in bad shape, and so that's the reason for the project. And as she said, it just makes sense if we need to do the roof, because there's times that when it's raining outside, it's raining in this building. And so we've been patching and chasing, leaks and leaks down the windows and leaks, he knows. I mean, we've been going around and around with this thing. So it's time we have to bite the bullet and get it done. So that's the purpose for doing them both together, because I would love to split them up and be able to do one project and then another project, but I can't see replacing new units on, or replacing the roof. Because I would do that first, but then I'm going to tear all these units off of there, then we got to patch a brand new roof. That doesn't make sense to me. So it just makes sense that we do it all at one time. I just want to make that clear so everybody
So
understands.
you would get new air conditioning, new boiler system. You're not going to,
Everything, all the 8 heating and air conditioning.
and then the pool pack was not going to be taken off. You're just going to ask for a bond issue for the pool pack and this.
Correct. So what you can do with the note is you essentially have 3 options. You can, the note that we issued last year, it's a 1-year maturity, so it actually matures next month. We could roll it over, which is what our intention is, and then you can either start paying on it next year, or you can roll it into a larger project, which is, I think, the anticipation that we're going to do. You can let it mature, and then you start paying on it immediately, which we are not in a place with what the fitness center's revenue is to do that without supplementing. So we think with the fitness center being closed this whole period, we have lost revenue. So we want to at least gain some of that back before we have to start paying a debt payment on it. Or, like I said, you could essentially just roll it into, you could keep rolling the note up to 5 years. We don't have any intention of doing that. I mean, the project is almost complete, but knowing that we had these other large improvements, to me it made sense to just make them one issue and roll them together.
So that'll be voted on by the city for the bond issue in 26 then, or?
No, that's not something that goes to the ballot.
Oh, it's
That's something
just,
that She'll talk to our bond council.
okay.
It'll go before city council.
They'll decide what's best, and then she'll make a recommendation to the council.
So I hate to bring up old things. It's going to operate similar to the golf course. So I know the golf course was a hot topic issue because, why are residents paying out of our bond retirement fund, good city money on, something that not everyone uses? Well, your city administration buildings, you need a building for this.
Serves everybody.
Yeah.
So just so I understand, the note from the pool pack
Mhm.
was how much?
A little over 2 million.
Okay. And so the city will continue to pay that off, but incorporate 5 million more into that note for the roof and the HVAC system?
Roll it.
So what we're doing is when you roll it, it's essentially deferring. So
Right.
you're paying your interest that was due, but you're deferring your actual debt payment. So if we wanted to roll it again next year, we would just pay the interest that we accrued over 2026, and then just keep deferring that payment. You can do that for up to 5 years, and then you either have to start paying it back or you have to issue a bond.
So we're not paying it down on the note, we're just paying the interest on the note
Okay.
until we decide to, then once we add this project, then it will bond it out. And then at that point, we start paying it, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So it would go from a 2.5 for the pool pad to a 7.5, give or take. And potentially, then you have 5 years, and then you start to pay the principal, you start to pay it out.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, you're not done.
Where you going?
You gotta explain the rest.
So,
That was just item 1.
I had to put glue on his shoes.
so when would this project begin? Next summer?
We're still out there, we're still looking at prices, we're still getting prices from various vendors. He's been working with various vendors on the you could speak to that.
Right now, we're working on an RFQ,
Okay.
request for qualifications. We're going to put this in the paper, we're going to advertise, bring some contractors in, some vendors, and see who's the best fit for the project. At that time, they'll give us a price quote, then we go from there.
Okay. Sounds good, thank you, sir. Drum roll.
All right, Dennis, you're up.
Okay. So, drum roller. This has been on our list for the past 3 years. This keeps getting pushed back. The other things that have been coming up, bucket trucks and stuff like that, and this has been taking a hit. Some of the stuff that we use this for is our asphalt for our streets. We use this in our parks for our walkways, our pathways through the woods. Pushing down grindings and stuff like that. So we're asking for this this roller to be a little bit bigger than what we have. It's just the one we have right now is just insufficient. The weight on it is just no compaction rating whatsoever. So that's why we're asking for a new drum roller at the $72,000 range.
So like we said, this was approved for 2025, but the cost of the bucket truck came in higher than anticipated, and the department felt that it was more important overall to go with that purchase and then defer this so that they could pay for the bucket truck this year.
Okay. Skid steer machine with attachments, that came in at $200,000. Our skid steer right now is a 1994 unit. It's at its last leg. Our fuel gauge, stuff like that, just not working. Trying to find replacement parts to keep this up and running where its capacity is totally impossible. With this machine, we're looking at getting a stump grinder for grinding the stumps on our possibly tree lawn trees when we take them down, an asphalt grinder, and also a bucket attachment. Looking at the EPA grant for reimbursement on this, but if it's not going to be approved, I really don't want to go for the grant. It's not going to be there. So.
Any questions on skid steer? I know it says 4 attachments. I know I only have 3. I think. I don't remember what the fourth one was.
Fourth was a brush hog attachment.
Okay.
For Liberty Park. It goes down the front of it, and you just go in reverse and you cut the grass down to where it needs to be, and that'll be good for some of our areas. Cemetery is one example by our back garage. Gonna cut that in 10 minutes versus the 2.5 hours it takes us now with our mowers. Leaf machine with the remote control. We started something different last year with the remote control. It adds a little bit to the amount of the vehicle, but it saves on our employees first for our safety. They're not jumping into ditches, swinging the hose back and forth. This is going to replace a 1994 unit. Again, trying to find parts and pieces to keep these things going is just, we're going like third, basically party vendors. As far as like going back to the remote control, it's a person out of the vehicle strapped onto their front, and they're using remote control to use the hose inside the ditches. So instead of the guy jumping down or, trying to move the hose. Plus, again, it's another safety grant.
So Dennis, instead of a three-man operation, it's a
They can go
two-man
down
operation.
two-man operation. Yeah, so efficiency rating as well.
And I think we can clean it up quicker. We can get through the routes. I
Yeah,
think.
we have one
more
right now. Like I said, we want to do an additional one for 2. Like I said, we'll get through the city a lot quicker, make the residents a lot happier.
But the other one doesn't have a remote.
It does not, no. It's an enhancement.
So we're going to keep the old one too.
Well, actually, no, the old machine will actually,
We actually have 4 machines. We typically run, depending on how fast the leaves are coming down, we usually will start off with 2, and then when it's in full force and the leaves are down, we're running 3, sometimes 4 units. This would be replacing the oldest unit. That would be sold, probably in gun deals.
Okay.
the next on our list is a service department vehicle. This will be replacing a 2005 Jeep that we previously inherited from our fire department. Again, the age and condition of this vehicle, you'll probably see it driving around the city. It's just, it's not us. So we're going to replace this with a hybrid vehicle, similar to what the other departments are running right now. It's going to save us on fuel back and forth through the city. It's the most economical vehicle that we can purchase. Force mulcher head attachment. This is going to be attachment for our excavator. This is going to be used cutting the vegetation in our parks. Right now, the park systems are shrinking just because the vegetation is growing over. We just don't have the means to cut back, the branches, big weeds and stuff like that. This will also help with our stormwater management practices, cutting the banks instead of getting the machine closer to the banks, where the EPA definitely frowns on. So this is going to help us tremendously.
About that. Will that help, like, on the areas, like, I know on Glenwood, coming to Ravenna Road, all that vegetation started growing over the sidewalk?
Yes.
Okay, and you can't even get through there. I mean, you've got to duck to walk or go on the tree lawn to that. So this will help.
This will all
cut
take care of that, yeah.
Keep all that trim back, and we have the same problem on Ravenna Road, too.
Yeah. This will take up to a 10-inch tree at 15 foot tall. From the top, it'll take it all the way down to the bottom. Again, this will be applying for an EPA grant for recycling. So hopefully that'll go through. I think that's it on my list.
Okay. Any questions for Dennis?
So I forget, Christina, how much money do we have for the service department that we can take from? Do you know that?
So services capital comes out of the general capital improvement fund. So it's mixed in with land and development. It's really any other department other than fitness, golf, and wastewater, minus that police and fire. They're all competing for the same amount of money. That same amount of money is really determined by what council and the mayor, what the mayor puts in the budget and what council approves for the budget. So it is a transfer from the general fund. So all of those items will be compiled in that voting, so you'll see the total for that fund, but the general fund will have to essentially pay for all of those.
Okay, thank you.
You got off easy.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So the total for all the service department requests are $5,527,000. I know that sounds like a lot, but $5 million of that is for the roof repair.
I want to say one thing, that his original request that they turned in was closer to $900,000. And so after we sat down and looked at it, they did a good job of telling us, what can we cut out? Because I says, wait, we just can't do all that this year. So, and that's some of the department heads, it's like playing tug of war. But, he was gracious enough, they were gracious enough to tell us, what we could really do without and maybe push off till next year. So I think you did a really good job with it. So like she said, it does sound like a lot of money, but they asked for a whole lot more. So we're doing okay.
So again, the city intends to hopefully issue a bond for that HVAC and roof repair. You can disregard the last point, which is a building maintenance and repair fund. I will be talking about that at caucus tonight. Our auditor has advised against us doing that for particular reasons. If we were to just create a building maintenance and repair fund just for the City Hall project, they said, yeah, go ahead, that's great. You know where your money's going, and then you close it out. But they're like, you already have a general capital improvements fund. You don't need to create a second one. So we can just disregard that comment. And then normally I would have Amy and
I'm sorry.
here.
Yep.
So you'll have to wait. You can sit in on the meeting, but you can't do it. You didn't get sworn in.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I really apologize. I was motorcycle riding with a friend. He got involved in an incident. It took quite a while.
That's okay.
I'm really I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hope he's
Yeah, no
okay.
problem. But you just can't vote. I mean,
That's fine.
Okay.
So normally I would have Dennis present usually with Nate and Amy because they're all kind of interrelated, but we have been running out of time this summer, so they will present at a later date. And next week's meeting, we will have Chief Mason and Chief Basso for police and fire. And we may add a third one on there if I can squeeze it in. It won't correlate, but at least we can get everyone grouped and done in a timely fashion.
All right. Mary, do we want to wait till the next meeting to swear in Mr. Kane?
If you'd like to go ahead and
Yep.
adjust the agenda, have him swear in.
Yep. Yep. Chuck, if you could swear in Mr. Kane, that would be great.
They're going to swear you in now.
Okay.
So you're going to go
You can stand up there
you have to
and,
go to
we'll
the
take it.
table. Go up front.
And stand up.
Go up front with Chuck.
You want me to come down here?
Yep.
I feel so bad.
You're gonna raise your right hand and then repeat after me.
Okay.
I state your name.
I, do you want me to read the whole thing?
Read your name.
Okay, Charles Kane,
Do hereby swear that I will support.
and defend the Constitution.
You'll say, do hereby swear. So you're repeating after me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. So we'll start over.
Okay.
I state your name.
I, Charles Kane,
Do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
and will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a member of the Capital Improvement Board
as a member of the Capital Improvement Board
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God. Thank you.
I apologize. You're going to sign 2 times. By your name. I'll stop.
I have bad thumb joints too. My hearing aids are again. It's been a catastrophe of an afternoon. This doesn't even look like a signature, unfortunately.
I gotcha.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Charles.
Now you're official.
Now you're official.
All right, nothing else to be seen?
Not tonight.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Shelley, second?
Second.
Mark, second? I'd like to adjourn so our next meeting is next Tuesday, September 2nd at 2025 at 5:30 PM. And this meeting is adjourned today at 6:13 PM.